just a minute to kind of welcome in and join in. I have two things that are on my mind that I want to chit chat about today. And of course, if you guys want to chit chat, then for sure join in and let me hear from you. We're just going to chat. This is very informal. We just talk about things like healing and spirituality, law of attraction, shadow work. Breaking ties with an ex, finding some peace, finding some sleep out of sleepless nights, all of those things, right? But two things on my mind that I want, and I want to pose a question. Hey, Empress Within, welcome in, welcome in. So I got two things on my mind. One of them will go kind of quick, and the Will I am T. I don't know if you I may be saying that wrong. Bosme, howdy, my friend. How's my soul fam up there? What y'all doing tonight? What's everybody doing? And I'm going to tell y'all what's on my mind. And y'all tell me what you think. I have a question. Ready? Oh, funny you would put a cowgirl or cowboy hat on, Bosme Moon. Y'all may not know this, but I'm a horse person. I don't have any right now, but I love me some horses. I just say that. Hey, Galactic Star, chilling at home. Yay. So at any rate, here's the two things on my mind. Topic number one, we are going to talk about everybody's thoughts about what is the opposite of love. And the second thing, we're going to delve deep into narcissism, but I'm saving that for later because that's a rabbit trail that we may talk about for a minute. So let's talk about the opposite of love. Who has some thoughts? I want to see who can figure out what I think. Oh, are you an equestrian? Okay, what kind of riding do you do, Bosme Moon? But who, ding, 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 Bila, and I may have said that wrong. Bila, you win the prize. You win the prize. Indifference. I fully, English and barrel. My daughter did barrels for a while. I love trail riding. Hey, Maria, thank you so much. But you're right. Courtney is right too. Indifference. You know, it is what they say about being a fine line between love and hate. I'm going to give you a perfect example of what I'm saying. And I promised that I would tell this story because people have been asking about it. M. Hank, 333 up in the house, right? Apathy, yes, apathy, indifference, ambivalence, just, being treated as if you are invisible, right? So, y'all ready for my story? Who here knows a little bit of backstory on what really was my huge tower moment and how I began my healing journey 4 years ago? I don't know how many of you are aware of that. I'll give you the quick. I was aloof, yes. Hey, Nacho Mama. I was involved in a relationship, a low vibrational relationship with a strong soul connection that went really, really bad and got hurt, devastated, okay? And I'll keep it real short. But it was really, really tough, okay? And it took me a good 3 years to fully heal from that, right? Arabian and quarter, I love quarter horses and paints. That's my thing. I had an Arabian. She was a great horse too. But okay, so, yeah, Tyler does that too, Savvy. And honestly, y'all, the reason I do lives in the car is because I live in a community of 300 people. Internet is not available there at any price, and at times my phone gets a signal during the middle of the night and I can upload stuff, but as far as going live, even then at my house, you can forget it. I have to, if I upload during the day, if y'all see me uploading during the day, it's because I've driven to town and uploaded there more often than not. But you know what? It's okay. I'm probably going to rent office space. I'm freaking, I just got to do something. But anyway, I'm fine, and I'm happy, and that's all that matters, right? But, okay. So, story about my ex and the opposite of love, right? Y'all, it took me 3 years to heal from that, long story short, right? And I got the opposite of closure at the end of that. The very last words he ever spoke to me was that, thank you so much, Savvy. But the very last words he ever spoke to me were, and many of you know my name is Karen, he said, Karen, he said, I know, William, and that's why I added that service that I talked about, and I'll talk about that more in a little bit. But if you're interested I added a service to try to help people who need a leg up, and it's in my description box. Hartselle, Alabama. I'm in South Alabama, but you know what? I know of Hartselle, Misfit. But so anyway, the last words to me. Are y'all ready for this? This was the intensity of this connection. To begin with, when we first came together in person, right? I saw his eyes and I recognized his soul in his eyes, right? The recognition from strong soul connection. And I didn't say anything, but I had this look, because I don't have a poker face. I had this look, and it was like, you know, like when you see something that kind of just like shock. And I had this look like, oh my God. And the words out of his mouth, he looked at me the same way and he said, oh my God, I feel it too. First time we ever came together, okay? Talk about strong soul connection and recognition, right? And knowing that you knew somebody because of past life history, okay? The last thing he ever said to me, of course, years later, was, Karen, you will always be my addiction, which is unhealthy, and we'll get into that maybe at some point later. You will always be my addiction, and there will never be another last day with you. And that, my friends, was the very last time I ever saw his face or heard his voice until what is today? Today, Thursday? It would be Saturday. Okay, so several days ago now. Okay, yeah. And so you want to talk the opposite of closure. I had to create my own closure. I really did. And that was really hard. Yes, it is deep. And it was tough. Okay. And you know, I have a pretty healthy outlook on the whole thing now. I don't hate him. I want him to eat, just not at my table kind of thing. And I'll tell you exactly. So, okay. So I went to work on me, right? Long story short, huge healing journey, right? Hello, Maggie. Huge healing journey. I started working on me, working on raising my vibration, really doing some inside serious work. Okay, I hit every mine in the minefield. I found every way to get stuck that you can get stuck. Okay, that's what my playlist, y'all, are all about, is telling you the things that worked for me and the things that didn't. Yes, M. Hank, you know, I wish you well, and I want you to eat just at another table, you know, in another restaurant, you know, on another continent, maybe another galaxy, and that's fine. I don't wish him any harm, you know. I don't wish him anything at all, okay? And I'll tell you how I know that. And you hear me say this a lot. When you make a commitment to cut ties and fix you, the universe will test you. Oh yes, and it will put a situation across your path that says, are you sure you're breaking ties with toxicity? Are you sure you're not? Are you sure you're willing to take a break from dating? Because I'm going to put somebody across your path that seems awesome. And that happened too. Yes, it did. Okay, along my path. Okay. But then, y'all, I had not seen my person in 4 years. In fact, today is 4 years ago our divorce was final. Today. So interesting, I would be telling the story today. But so, y'all, listen to the timing of this. Okay. I can't talk about your serendipitous divine timing. Okay, many of you know this. Saturday at 4:45 or 5 o'clock-ish, this past Saturday, I went live with Tyler, as many of you know. Okay? As you also know, it rocked my world in the most beautiful way ever. And, you know, you can look at my subbies before and after. My subbies before were 2,500, for which I'm extremely grateful. And it wouldn't have been that if it hadn't been for Rich Lop sharing me and promoting me, okay? And then Tyler and then you guys came over and just, it still feels surreal, okay? I feel like I'm in a dream. But the night that it happened, hey, Era, the night that it happened, okay, when I really started to see the fruits of working law of attraction in a huge way, okay, my daughter was with me, actually, in the car with me when I went live with Tyler. Y'all didn't know that because she was off and she was actually helping me keep stuff together, if you can believe that. But, okay, so after that, we left where I'm at right now. In fact, I was in this very same spot. We left here and we went to a place that is off of everybody's beaten path to get pizza. We decided, we were starving. She was starving. I was starving. We decided we were going to get pizza. So we go off the beaten path. way out of nowheresville, nowhere where I would expect to see him. Of course, he lives an hour and a half from here anyway, so I wouldn't expect to see him anyway, okay? And he drives a truck. He's on the road. So what are the odds, right, of me running into him? Even if I were in his town, he's probably not there, right? So, okay, here we go. So we go to the pizza place, and we had gone in and eat, and we come back out, and I'm watching my channel it was like a freaking explosion in the most beautiful way. And I was watching, we were in the car, and I was watching my subs just go up and up in the comments, and I thought, and I saw it come to the point where I could not respond to all the comments, and I was overwhelmed, right? Because I'm so used to being able to respond to all of folks' comments when they watch my videos, and I was like, oh my God, all these people are saying all these nice things, and I can't keep up. I can't, and I'm just like, almost, the energy, and it was a full moon too, full moon in Aquarius at that, right? And so I'm sitting there, and I could not take my eyes off my phone. My daughter's sitting here. Okay, so hear me out. This is where we're at. We're in a parking lot, and this is my mindset, and this is what's going on, okay? The parking space facing me in the parking lot was empty. And a big jacked up truck, because we are in Alabama, pulls in facing me, right? And pulls in facing me with, and they turned on their brights. Okay, well, I'm in a low sedan, so they could see inside my car, but I couldn't see inside theirs. So they inch up really, really close. I never looked up at all, okay, because I'm so into my phone, right? And my daughter says, Mama, that truck really pulled up close, and they flicked their lights. And I'm like, oh, well, and I never looked up, and I'm just sitting there, da-da-da-da-da, right, whatever. And then, are y'all ready for this? They never got out of the car, and I never looked up. This is most of what I'm telling you, I did not see happen. My daughter told me after the fact that all this happened, okay? So the truck, after about sitting there and flicking their lights for 10 minutes and me not looking up because I'm so absorbed in my channel exploding, just going like fireworks, y'all, I would not even look up. But my daughter's telling me, I'm like, well, baby, just let me know if they get out of the car if you feel unsafe or whatever. She's like, well, I'm okay, but they're just like an inch from our front of our car, and it's just really weird. It's kind of creepy, Mom. And I said, okay. And I said, well, just, let me know. And I never look up, right? So then they pull back, and they pull around beside my car, inches away from the side of my car. I knew that because I could see it out of the corner of my eye, but I never looked up, and they stopped. And they had tinted windows. My daughter told me all this after the fact. I never looked up. And they rolled the window down, and guess who it was? You're right. That one. After 4 years, and at the perfect time. I never looked up, y'all. And my daughter, he looked at my daughter, and he nodded. And then he kind of looked away, and he waited for, yes, it was my ex. And I never looked up. My daughter told me all this happened after the fact, right? So then I never looked up, right? Never even looked up. And while he was sitting there and making eye contact with my daughter, he could see my daughter because I had my inside light on, and my daughter's going, Mama, and I don't mind y'all know it, Mama, that's James, Mama, he could see her doing that, and me going, yeah. And she goes, Mama, is this not registering with you? And I said, yeah, it's registering. And I never looked up because I couldn't take my eyes off my phone because it's exploding right after this thing happens with Tyler, right? I wasn't even curious. So then he pulls around, and he goes down the aisle of the parking lot. And by this time, she's gotten my attention. And she says, Mama, did you not register who this was? And I said, yeah, baby, I knew what you said when the first time you said it. And she said, you really did cut ties with him, didn't you? And I said, yeah, baby, I really did. And I looked down then, and he's sitting there, and he sat there for the longest time in the middle of the parking lot, like 15 feet away, I guess thinking that I'm going to get out of the car. So I go right back down and doing my channel. And then, after about 10 minutes, he pulls back around and comes back facing me again. I never look up. I never do anything. Y'all, it never phases me because, honestly, I could not have been less interested if he had been a stump, okay? And, in fact, I love telling you. And that's why I opened this up with what is the opposite of love. And so then, I get to a point, I'm like, okay, baby, we got to go home. I said, I can't keep up. We're just going to have to go home, and I'm going to have to figure this out. And y'all, I was just the energies, the full moon energy in Aquarius, and then this, and then the channel going crazy. And I'm like, And I looked at my daughter and I said, yeah, I was busy. Of course, he doesn't. I don't think he knows about this channel, which is totally fine. If anybody needed it, it's probably him, but I don't know. I don't want that kind of energy here. But anyway, so then he's sitting there, watching me. Well, then I'm ready to go, and I am not, concerned. I'm not going to change my behavior one way or the other. If I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. So I pull out, right? You know what happened, don't you? Dude pulls out behind me. I said, Abby, watch here. I said, you know what? I said, we fixing to hit the interstate. 'Cause Gemini girl, we ain't afraid of the accelerator, okay? You know what I'm saying happened, don't it? You know what I'm saying? Man, I popped it up to 100 quicker than shit. Sure did. Sure did. And I went all kind of different ways till I lost his butt. Yeah, he followed me. Sure did. Sure did. And you know what the problem was? I did not even give him the time of freaking day. And it bothered him because he has a lot of narcissistic tendencies. I am convinced he is not a full-blown narcissist. He does have a shred of a conscience. But at any rate, this is why I opened this chat up with what is the opposite of love. It is total 100% invisibility and not being acknowledged at all. There you go. Vroom, vroom, exactly. So that was the universe ultimate test, right? But it came at a perfect time. Can y'all think, though, of a more perfect time for me to be 100% distracted from him than that, right? I mean, and if this had happened a year and a half, 2 years ago, I would have dropped everything. I would have dropped everything. Yep. But yes, you're right, Maria, because vibrationally we are no longer aligned. So I would not have looked up because I wouldn't have felt his energy because vibrationally we're just not aligned, right? Savvy, can I be honest with you? He didn't lose a good woman. He lost a broken woman who became a good woman. Okay? I was a good woman, but I didn't know it. I wasn't, and so, yeah. No, and I don't think he's done the work. I don't. And I'm, it's fun. But it was just freaking, hey, Jenna, and I don't know who else, I got so caught up in that story, but I had to tell that because I gave y'all little hints that had happened in some of my readings that I had done earlier in the week, and somebody asked, wanted to hear the whole story, so there you have it. That's the whole story. Old vibes, you got that right. And, clearing out the old, transformation, and yes. And so it was pretty serendipitous how the timing of that. And the thing is, I was totally off the beaten path of his normal stomping grounds and mine. And, he lives an hour and a half from here, plus he's on the road driving. So what are the odds of seeing him there? I mean, and he was alone. His woman wasn't with him either. Abby said, I don't know, I don't care. Whatever, But anyhow, yes, Sierra, you're right. Somebody did ask about it, and I promised I would tell in here. Because at first I thought they wanted the whole story, and I was like, oh, but even this was kind of a long story. But I had to tell it all for y'all to really get the gist of the timing, the serendipity, the manifestation that was going on, and how I had really, been seeing the culmination of now 4 years of work on myself. And this is why oftentimes, y'all, I say that it takes time. But you know what, William, I'm glad you brought that up. If you feel like flipping the bird, you're not over them. It didn't even cross my mind. What time is it here? 7:30. 7:30. Yeah, they show up when you don't want them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, I don't know. I don't know if, I don't know. It may rock his world so much. I don't know. He's so cocky, but also no self-confidence. No telling whether he'll reach out or not, because he's cocky, but yet again, his self-confidence will probably keep him from reaching out. But he'll probably do something to cross my path without reaching out, and I'll be like, whatever. But I don't know. It'll be hard for him to cross my path because he's blocked in every way. But, yeah, they come back to test our vibe, Jenna. You're right. But, okay, so that leads me to narcissism. And, I talked about this a little bit. And I'm going to call some folks out because I love you, and that's what I do, right? And the only way I can call you out is because I did this myself. I'm cold, so y'all hold on a minute. I got to get some heat on my feet. Let me get this going here. All right. So I cannot... Yes, it's 7:30 p.m. my time on Thursday evening for those of you who might be across the pond or whatever. By the way, I have Irish roots. Toronto, I have my bestie is in Canada too. My bestie is, yes, he is. But anyway, okay. Now, this is done in love. When all that went down with him, I was the first one to holler narcissist, okay? First one. And that is an overused word, okay? Narcissistic behavior, in my opinion, after a lot of thought and work on myself, is this. It is on a spectrum. Many of us can act selfish and egotistical sometimes. Yes, we can, okay? That's just, it's on a spectrum, okay? But in actuality, about 1 point something percent of the actual population has true narcissistic personality disorder, where they are full-blown narcissism with no conscience and no feeling and no ability to empathize, okay? But, and the only reason I'm calling you out, if you're quick to call your person a narcissist, is to rethink that. And I don't call mine a narcissist. He's not full-blown. He has strong narcissistic behaviors, or he did. I don't know. I haven't been around him in 4 years, but I would assume based on his behaviors the other night that he probably does, because he was acting pretty arrogant the other night just with his, he thought I was going to come running. But anyway, but yes, many comments where people call people a narcissist. But mine does have a conscience, okay? He would often say sometimes, I can't feel, and I feel guilty for that. Well, that's a little bit of a conscience there, okay? But narcissistic behavior at its root is rooted in a poor self-esteem and being broken, oftentimes from childhood trauma. Martisha, I recognize your name. How are you doing? But anyway, and so I kind of wanted to talk about that just a little bit. And, I have a real interesting theory about narcissist. You hear a lot about the dynamic between narcissists and empaths, okay? And that whole magnetism thing. And I said, originally I was like, oh, he's a narcissist, I was an empath, and da-da-da. And it made it, hey, Reds Tarot, and it made it real convenient to blame him for everything and stay in victim mode for a long time. And quite honestly, a lot of the empath groups on social media, I had to get out of them because they were in victim mode and it drove me nuts and I couldn't deal. And so, back then I was still pretty broken and I was kind of bitchy and I would just pop off because I knew they were in victim mode, and that much drove me crazy. But I was like, no, this is just not my vibration anymore. I got to get out of here. And I left all of them because, I couldn't deal. But, here's my theory. And I would love to hear, I think, okay, as many of you know, the stance on the narcissist-empath dynamic is that the narcissist picks up on the empath's energy. So a narcissist can read energy then, if that's true, right? Just like an empath can. I think many times there is a fine line between the two, and I think that an empath can become a narcissist and vice versa, okay? And hear me out on this, and I came to this thought whenever I was in those groups. A lot of these folks that were in the empath groups were in victim mode, and they didn't do a damn thing wrong. Well, that's narcissistic as hell. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Yes, fine line between love and hate. Jenny, you're right. That's why we said that the real opposite of love is indifference and being treated like you're invisible, right? Ghosting and that sort of thing. That is the real opposite of love. We are all equal and opposite. So this narcissist impact thing and the labels we have, it's much more complex. It does not fit in a little box that we can just wrap up and put a bow on. It's just like the labels about strong soul connections that I talk about with twin flames and soulmates. Okay, don't try to label something. Just know that it's a strong soul connection, and if you're happy, go with it, okay? And if you're not happy, well, it was a toxic soul connection, and move on and fix it and fix you. It's just that simple. Don't worry about the labels, right? Just find happiness, and don't let grass grow underneath you. Get healed. Yes, take a break, but don't let the grass grow underneath you by sitting and, waiting on someone to return that ain't got the time of day for you like I did, okay? Because I wasted a lot of years of that I could have been happy because I was busy stuck on who, right? And so, but anyway, I'm not a person about labels. Somebody asked me the other day on here, are you a witch? Are you a starseed? Are you a you know, what are you, a fairy? And you know, I'm a lot of things, and I tell you what I am, and you can, you know, all of those things, and I'm pretty eclectic. I don't get too caught up in labels. I do rituals, you know, I'm high vibrational with what I do, and I meditate. I'm spiritual. I'm very much against indoctrination that comes with many organized religions around the world, because I think it teaches very toxic teachings, okay? But I do believe in divine energy. I believe that there are multiple manifestations of that, okay? And I believe that our soul is made of divine energy, and that's why you don't need anything other than what is inside to be happy, whole, fulfilled, loved, and have abundance. Point blank, period. My beliefs in a nutshell, okay? But I don't get caught up in labels. I just do my thing, right? And you know, I do a lot of different things, and I pull from a lot of different paths. You know, I do follow law of attraction, but I don't like a lot of the law of attraction teachings because they're toxic, okay? A lot of law of attraction experts teach spiritual bypassing and microwave manifestation, and neither of those things that is unhealthy and toxic. And the reason microwave manifestation is so misleading, it is possible, okay, hear me out, but this is what they fail to mention, okay? Yes, he does. It is possible, but here's when it is possible. You can't just, you are a light worker, Nacho Mama, you got that right all day long. But anyway, here's why it doesn't work for a lot of people, microwave manifestation. And this is what causes people to give up on law of attraction. Because here's what the hand that rocks the cradle. The beliefs that you have that is so important, and this governs every single experience in your life. It's your subconscious, which is also your shadow self, okay? And you're not aware of it by definition. This is not hokey stuff. This is, you know, Carl Jung, big mental health pioneer, okay? If you're interested, you can Google that, okay? But by definition, you are unaware of what is in your subconscious, okay? And it is your subconscious beliefs about yourself that govern every single life experience that you have. Job, money, career, family, people that you encounter every day, and certainly romantic experiences. And this is why shadow work is imperative, to be able to work law of attraction and be able to microwave manifest, okay? So it takes time to work through that stuff before your vibration is to where you can do that. Do you understand what I mean? So that's why, you know, I caution whenever I see folks, hey, LaTanya, how are ya? But anyway, that's why I caution folks. But spiritual bypassing is the opposite of shadow work. And a lot of law of attraction folks are really quick to tell you that, you know, if you're having an unpleasant thought, just bury it and do something else. Well, no, that's repressing it in your subconscious and really making matters worse. And I'll be honest with you, this go round with law of attraction, this is not my first time on this horse in this rodeo. Okay, I was on a different horse though, and I was following the wrong teachers who didn't fully explain everything that I now understand. Thank you, Rich Lop. Okay. And that is this. Yes, law of attraction works, and it works every day, but it's working on what is in your subconscious. So all the post-it notes on your bathroom mirror, all the positive affirmations that you make all day long are really not rocking your cradle. That's not your hand that's rocking your cradle, okay? It is what is in your subconscious. That is the hand that rocks the cradle. And that's why shadow work and healing is near and dear to my heart. And that's why I have a whole bunch of stuff on my channel in my playlist about it, y'all. So, you know, from the peanut gallery, I can tell you this. I am not an expert on everything, but what I am an expert on is what I found that did work for me, and the things that I found that didn't work, if that makes sense. Gemma, make me some. Are you going to have tacos? Yes, Rich is all about healing first. I'm all about, you know, and this is the thing. Folks will be on a hamster wheel of failed relationship after failed relationship after failed relationships, me being one, okay? And yes, I do now, Red's Tarot. It's in my description box. And funny you would ask, I added that service today. You can see details about that in my description box. And you book it real similar to how you book a personal reading. But anyway, Rich, I know I love Rich. He is, y'all, his teachings were the game changer, because he helped me to understand everything, you know. But with that being said, I forgot what I was saying, y'all. Yes, I'm talking about Rich Slop, Empress Within. Yes, ma'am. His teachings were the game changer. I found Tyler and him almost at about the same time. And, Tyler is, he's like raw truth. Like, why would you want to be with anybody that doesn't want to be with you? Well, you know what? He's right. And Rich tells you why, So it was kind of like a complimentary thing, if you will. So from that, I'm mad props to both of them, really, okay? But because it was a game changer, it really was. And but anyway, he knows a Taurus for sure. That's funny. But and I guess I don't know. Some people say that he's hard to understand. He's got that Aquarius mind, and I get that. But I got a Gemini mind, and we're both real strong with air energy, and so I get his teachings. He taught it. I had heard it before in a different kind of way. It didn't gel. I tried it. It didn't work. His teachings, I got. Yes, that's the meat and potatoes. You're right, Lisa Zane, and he says that too. But, I know what I was going to say. This is not the first time I was in this radio, but I was on a different horse, and I didn't understand I didn't even know what shadow work was or healing. I didn't get all that. At that point, I thought you went to the altar and, you went and cried and that was your healing, and that's just didn't work, okay? And I tried it for over 50 years. It didn't work. But so I didn't get it, okay? I did not understand that. And because of that, because I was listening to the ones that teach the toxic type of, law of attraction teachings, I tried it and it didn't work. And so I thought that law of attraction crap is BS. And that was my mindset, okay? Well, then I lose my ex, right? But anyway, Latanya, he is Rich, RICH, LOPP. And if you go on my channel, scroll over at the top of your phone when you are on my channel's page, and you will see, you'll see videos, community, and then over you'll see channels. And I feature 2 channels, and him and Tyler are both on there, okay? And you can find him that way. But anyway, so I had this mindset because of my experience of hearing the toxic law of attraction teachings and trying them, and of course they didn't work, right? And so I had that mindset, this don't work, right? And so, but then I lose the ex. And so I come to the tarot community on YouTube because I'm looking for guidance on how to get my ex back, right? And so I find Tyler, and then I find Rich. And Rich starts talking all this law of attraction. And I'm like, well, he's talking all that law of attraction BS, whatever. He's crazy. That's BS. But okay, I'm going to listen to his tarot readings, right? Well, he does that for a reason. For people like me, actually. And because I was like, well, and then he would read, and man, and y'all, I booked 3 different personal readings with him. Is the cancer coming back? Is the cancer coming back? Is there going to be a reconciliation with the cancer? Every freaking time, right? He was so kind in those personal readings, and it's hard to do those kind of readings, y'all. It is. But, okay, he was so kind. But over the course of time, even though I would sit and argue with him about law of attraction, let me tell you what I watched over time. Because I've been watching Rich actually about 3.5 years. When I first started watching him, he got into a relationship that was pretty toxic. And it didn't last long. He got out of that, man. He moved across the country. He was done. He started working on himself. He went inside. He started cleaning up his self, right? His inside dialogue, his shadow. Really went inside, took a time out. Next thing I know, here comes Leah. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I'll be honest, I was, still kind of to the whole thing, right? To his whole law of attraction thing. And I said, well, here's the new flavor of the month. We'll see how this goes. But I couldn't stop watching him, right? But then something about Leah, I thought, well, she's kind of cute. I kind of, wow, there's something to this, Then the next thing I know, they're dating and they're happy and they're vibing. And I'm like, okay. Then the next thing I know, he gets custody of his kids, full-fledged. And him and Leah are like vibing, and they got the kids, and everything is beautiful. And they're in this 1-bedroom apartment because I don't think they were prepared for it, right? Yes. So then the next thing I know, he moves to Vegas into a 7-bedroom home. What? Wait, what? Okay, this dude's working this law of attraction stuff. And I'm shaking my head and I'm scratching my head and I'm like, and he was right about the cancer not coming back. And And, I started healing, and I do feel a hell of a lot better. And, and yes, he has 2 girls. He has a double Gemini for one of his girls, like me, and she gives him hell just like I did my parents. And he also has an Aquarius just like him, so pretty funny. But I mean, when I say she gives him hell, in a beautiful way, but like she does silly stuff, like she stole her sister's lunch the other day when they were going to school, and her sister didn't have anything to eat. But anyway, when I say gives him hell, I mean like that. I mean, she's not out running the streets. It's nothing like that. She's a good kid, okay? She's just a double Gem, and she's just full of herself, just like a double Gem would be. And I know that because that's me, okay? But anyway, yes, lots of air. Yeah, lots of air in that house, and lots of estrogen, poor dude. But anyway, I think he handles it beautifully. But okay, so the next thing I know, he's moved into this house, he's vibing, he's happy, and I'm like, okay, this dude's got it. And I had already started doing a lot of healing and shadow work and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right. He knows what he's talking about. What am I missing here? And that was when everything came together for me. Like, I had already started doing a lot of shadow work and healing. I had I had done the cord cutting with my person and things of that nature. And then I said, okay, if he can manifest success, so can I. And y'all, you may know this, I'm an accountant by trade, and I really was at a crossroads because I started this channel and I was like, well, I got to pay the bills. I'm a single parent, and yet I got to work, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but this is my passion, and I hate accounting. And, I heard Rich say one time, he goes, yes, they are fantastic, Misfit. And yes, a lot is passed down ancestrally. You're right. There's a lot to do with past life karma, and I believe that to my soul. But at any rate, so I thought, okay. I hope y'all don't hear this siren. It'll go by fast if you do, but I hear it off in the distance. But anyway, so with that being said, I thought, okay, well, I've manifested peace, because I had found peace, at some point from, and I thought, but I'm not doing my passion. And he said one time, he said, if what you are doing for a living you would not do for free, it is not your passion. There wasn't a doubt in my mind I was in the wrong place. And let me tell you something. I'm a damn good accountant. I mean, I got 35 years of experience in chief financial officer type level experience, okay? I can make money working for a company all day long, okay? I can do budgets and forecasting and financial statements, meet with the board of directors, and my Gemini mouth takes over, and I got that air brain. I got no problem. I can talk to anybody on any level, right? I can meet them. I can talk to the highbrow ones. I can talk to the not highbrow ones, and I'm fine, right? And I did well, professionally for a number of years. And I left the profession for a while. Long story there, maybe for another time. But I did do self-sabotage with career, and I didn't understand them, but that was me because I was so miserable with what I was doing. I didn't like it, and it wasn't my passion. So I sabotaged the whole thing back in 2007, I think. Yeah, okay. Anyway, but I re-entered the field not too long ago, but I was also at that crossroads, and I heard Rich say that, and I was like, there's my answer. I know what my passion is, and so I left my job actually the other day. I really should have done it before, but I just waited. I was just a little bit nervous about taking the plunge. But the thing with Tyler was kind of confirmation of what happened, and that, it's going to be fine. And, you follow your passion, and it's going to be okay. And I'm not telling anybody to go quit your job, especially if you're a single parent and you're not in a position where you're financially able to do so. I can't give that kind of advice. What I'm telling you to do is go inside, and you'll find the answer, right? Just like me, okay? And so, but anyway, speaking of careers, I actually did self-sabotage. Thank you so much, Claire. I did self-sabotage back in 2008, and it should have been the tower moment, but it was not. And y'all, I really did what I thought ruined my career, honestly. Made a huge decision to really do something out of character and really, really bad. And because of that, for a long time, it seemed as though I had wrecked my accounting career, right? And so then after that, after a period of time after that, I went back and started serving tables. And y'all, I was serving people at restaurants that I had rubbed elbows with in the board of director meetings. You want to talk about humility and learning how to be having an attitude of gratitude? Yes, it was a setback, and I learned how to be thankful for things that I took for granted in my past. Oh yes, ma'am. And I served tables for 8 years, and I worked my way up. I started out in an IHOP. I worked my way up into fine dining, and I was actually bringing home bank, but I got tired of working when everybody else was playing, like Friday and Saturday nights, because that's a big money time if you're serving. And so then I said, okay, I'm going to manifest a job in accounting. And I was far enough along by this point in my healing that I could manifest whatever I wanted to, whether it was what I should be doing or not. And when you get to that point, you can manifest things that are not meant for you. Oh, yes, you can. And I did. And I went back into the accounting world. And it was very uncomfortable. It was not aligned with my passion. The ethics of the businesses that I ran across in my professional career were not aligned with my own ways, and not care and not have any, conscience. I mean, companies that would lay people off in an accounting department as a temp with no benefits, at less pay. I don't know if y'all are here or not. I don't know. I'm totally missing the chat if it's coming up. But anyway, oh, there it is. There it is. And so, it is important to whatever you do to be in a place professionally that aligns with your goals and your values and that sort of thing. But yeah, and I saw that happen time after time after time where and it didn't, and I'll tell y'all a story. As a chief financial officer level person, you are privy to very confidential financial information. You know what everybody's salary is, whether they give bonuses and to who, including the owners and themselves and that sort of thing. You know all of that, but yet you can't talk about it, right? There was a company that I worked for, right, after I went back into the professional world, right? And they really talked a good talk to their employees, okay? They really did. And they came across in a certain kind of way, very caring and loving, and, they were members of their church and, high-standing individuals, okay? And they sat across from me, the two of them. They were business partners, half owners each, okay? And they sat across from me at the table. This was a company who historically had given Christmas bonuses to their employees equal to 2 weeks' pay every Christmas for the past 18 years. So the employees had gotten there, they were kind of used to that, right? And they sat across from me in a meeting, the two of them, the two business owners, and of course, I'm an employee too. So this was not only towards the other employees, but to me, right to my face. And they said, well, here's what we've decided to do this Christmas. We are going to take care of ourselves regardless. We're going to give ourselves a month bonus. And we're not going to give employees the bonus at all this year because we're going to take care of ourselves first. We have to worry about our own selves and our own families. That's the business ethics of what I had to see to understand that was not where I was supposed to be. Okay, does that make sense? Yes. And here, they had not only said it about people who I loved to the core, my coworkers who I adored. Okay, I had some beautiful coworkers there, don't get me wrong. The people I worked with were beautiful people, okay, as far as coworkers, okay? But not only did they say that about me, but they said it about people who had been there 20, 25 years, who had given everything to this company. Yes. And, but yeah, only out for themselves. And it is effed up. You're absolutely right. And as a chief financial officer, okay, number one, you sign something saying you can't tell anybody about that. Well, pooey on that, because I don't work there. Plus, I haven't named them or the company. And, number two, I'm not saying who they are, but you can't tell that. Or you could get fired in my job. I mean, you sign a confidentiality agreement. So not only can you be fired, they can sue you for damages if other people leave because of what you said. Yes, that is the way confidentiality agreements with accounting folks works, okay? It ain't no joke. Accounting positions are held to a position, it's considered by law, position of trust, which is not the same as like a chief operating officer or somebody. But when you're responsible for signing checks, okay, and running payroll and all of that sort of thing, and making sure people get paid correctly, it is more of considered a position of trust. That is a legal term in employment law. And so at any rate, because of that, you are held to a higher standard, and your liability is higher as far as, you know, what you're responsible for and what you can get zinged for, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was really, yes, and it is the way things are handled. And yes, the further you move up, the more desensitized people become. I think so. And, you know, I think what it is I think it's just like Congress and, you know, the Senate and the House. There's you that they've been away from it so long. Sometimes at it, some of them were born with no concept of what it's like in the world, and what it is to be a single parent, what it is to be relying on this paycheck from week to week. And, you know, and the thing I had to learn early on, accounting is a different beast. You got that right, Benita. Most people either love it or hate it, and I'm good at it. There were things I hated less than others. If anything, I mean, I enjoyed forecasting and budgeting, but I hated. And let me tell you something. I didn't do this even for money. I didn't do taxes. I wouldn't, and I have in the past. I've done enough tax returns in my life that you wouldn't believe. But at any rate, I would rather dig ditches for a living than do tax returns. I really would. I can't think of a worse thing to have to do. And I extend my own until I can't anymore. And it takes 10 minutes for me to do my tax return, and yet I still hate it that much. And I guess it's probably because I worked in public accounting and did so many tax returns. Maybe I just got sick of it, but I hate it. And, but you know, yes, taxes is rough. It really is. But I really would, I hated it. And, you know, the tax law, and I don't know the tax law anymore because I don't do taxes anymore, but because it changes so much every year. But it typically makes no sense. It really doesn't. And, you know, there's no rhyme or reason to it for the most part. And it's like, you know, it's just big fat eye roll, right? And it can get pretty darn complex, believe it or not. Especially, you know, when you're doing, you know, I've done corporate tax returns for like corporations and stuff. But I've also done tax returns. I got hot again, so I'm turning on the air. That's why I'm doing this, y'all. Sorry. But I've done a lot of individual tax returns for folks that were pretty dadgum wealthy, okay? And those tax returns can be very complicated, very complicated. And Jenna, if you do taxes, you know what I'm talking about. People have all these investments, and part of it, you know, a certain percentage of it, and you have to go out and calculate what percentage is actually taxable. And I liked corporate better than individual. I did. That was just me. But, you know, because it made sense. It was kind of like putting a puzzle together. I don't know. Gemini mind, right? But in general, I didn't mind corporate tax all that much, but I would rather take a beating than to deal with a 1040. And I've done a lot of work where people had back taxes and all that stuff and come out pretty serendipitous. Y'all, I can tap dance with the IRS, but will I? No, I hate dealing with them. And I made a lot of money doing it, but I hated doing it. And, you know, if I get into a jam with them, I know how to help myself and get out of it. I know what to do with it, you know. But you know, it is what it is. I do love math too. Hey, Sorensen, how are you doing? How are you doing? So anyway, okay, here we've talked about the opposite of love. We've talked about narcissism, and then somehow we got into the accounting profession, okay? Anybody got any thoughts or profound questions or thoughts or anything? I'm not doing readings, so I can't tell you, you know, things about that. Director of Operations, Hospitality. Wow, interesting. See, Benita, I served for 8 years, so I understand that industry. Y'all, I loved serving because you know why? I'm a nurturing person. That Venus in Cancer, man, I made good money serving. I sure did. I just got tired of working every Friday and Saturday night because that's the big money nights, you know. And you don't have a social life except for with other servers, right? Because, you know, we were off. I am reading full-time now, Claire. I sure am. And, somebody had asked about this, and I think it was Red's Tarot. You had asked about this a while ago. I have added a new service this morning. My Gemini is, my rising is Gemini buys me, and my sun, so I'm a double Gemini. But I have added a service that is actually more aligned with why I'm here, okay? I still do personal tarot readings, and but I've also, I do now, I added this morning. I don't want to, I called it coaching and mentoring, but it's more like just trying to give you a leg up, if you will, if you're struggling with healing or letting something go from the past or breaking toxic ties or helping heal yourself, law of attraction type stuff. And that information is now in my description box, including this one of my most recent videos. You book it very similar to how you book a tarot reading, but it's different. But anyway, Jenna, sweet dreams, my life. Thank you so much. Yes, a leg up. I called it coaching mentoring because, I'm not an expert. Okay, I'm still learning. And if we're not still learning, then we're stagnant, and that's toxic. Okay, nobody arrives, right? We are all growing and learning, right? I think I need to reach out to you, even though many times over this time it's just not working. Happy woman, I totally get it. And if you feel like you need to do that, then it's easy to do. You book it just like a tarot reading. Honestly, it's super easy. But Bosme, I'm glad to see you here. I know you had reached out to me a while back about being a mod, and I was like, you were like, how does one become a mod? I'm like, you want to be a mod? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, do. But anyway, if anybody has any thoughts or profound thoughts or questions or that sort of thing, somebody asked me a while ago if I'm a psychic. I am not. Now, I will say this. When I read, okay, secret, kind of. Those of you who are highly spiritual and or practitioners, you're going to already know what I'm about to say, okay? You're a Gemini rising. That's so funny. I have several spirit guides. My primary one is a person a deity who is often misunderstood, but very much into healing and shadow work herself. Yes, divine feminine energy. And she has been the true godsend, okay? I'm just going to be honest with you. The true divine influence. And many times in my readings, if you see my countenance change or me going down a rat trail, I'm channeling. And if you've watched me if you are a spiritual person, that you will understand, but I do channel. So I'm not a psychic, but I do channel. And it is not me, it is her. And trust and believe, it is her passion about healing and, seeing people heal toxic beliefs about themselves. And she's all about empowerment. She's all about stepping into your power. And makeover, it's funny you would ask that. I've always known I was a spiritual person, but I hated going to church. And I never understood why. I'm like, how can I feel so spiritual and yet hate going to church? Now I understand. It did not align with my soul, bottom line. You know what I mean? And so that yes, I have. But at any rate, stagnation is a tough place to be with. Yes. And there are times that you do feel stagnant. Absolutely. And that's normal. Church is religious. Religious is indoctrination. Indoctrination is toxic. I love it, Nacho Mama. You're right. One day I'm going to do some stuff on indoctrination. I've been healing from that recently. And spirit just is. All right. If I could, I'd make a Nacho Mama. If I could, I'd make a bullseye emoji for that one right now. Spirit just is. You're right about that. Right? What was that meme that used to circulate a while back? Religion's something about going to hell. Spiritual people have been there or something. I don't know. Anyway, but there's a big difference. Thank you, Bosme. You got it for me. You got my target. I was raised I'm in the deep South, still Tammy Fletcher, and I get it, And, there's things I like about the South. I love nature. There's a lot of woodsy areas, a lot of good trail riding if you're a horse person, Bosme, around here. And there you go, Nacho Mama. We don't go just to church on Sunday morning, do we? Every day, always, night and day, asleep or awake, right? But it's I'm not, and I'm not boxed in, right? And that's why I don't like labels, You know, people say, are you a witch? Are you spiritual? I do rituals sometimes. Yes, I take a spiritual bath. You know, if I need to do a ritual to, you know, banish negativity, negative energy or what have you, you know, whatever, I do it. Sure, I do. You know, but that's not all there is to me. There's a lot more. Some people are like, do you have fae energy? Yep, I do. You know, a starseed? Probably. I'm a person and I got a passion, and that's what matters, right? That's all that really matters is what I'm doing and where I'm headed. It really, you know, the labels don't matter. I'm just a person with a passion and a dream, and pretty damn happy right now, honestly. But oh, I got to say, yes, I'm a blend. You know, I call myself eclectic, right? And you know, that's why I don't get into labels so much. Yes, no label. I just am me, you know, and we're all different, you know. And that's why I encourage people, you know, when you're looking at things like healing and shadow work and shadow self and subconscious and law of attraction, you know, Google stuff. Watch me, watch a lot of other people. Even if people say things that you don't agree with, you might find some truth there. So even if somebody, you know, teaches, say, spiritual bypassing, don't necessarily throw the baby out with the bathwater, okay? You may pick up some things that resonate, and you will know that because it will resonate with your soul. That's how you know that that is your truth, right? Happy woman, you're a Southern lady, right? Exactly. Jesus, Buddha, I do, oh yeah. I'm a Jesus freak. You're right. I love them. That's right. That's absolutely right. You got that right. I think Jesus was probably the most misunderstood person, energy, however you want to look at it, that ever walked the earth. That's my personal opinion. I think he came here to do something radically different than what actually happened with most of what happens in his name today. You know what I mean? That's my personal belief. And I know a lot of people feel that way too, that I run with, you know, my gang, right? But anyway, who's on Facebook? Is anybody on Facebook? Anybody on Facebook? I'm watching the comments. Just say yes or whatever. Janet, you are. Let's see who else is. Bosme is. Empress. Okay. I have a group that I started a year before my channel. It's a private group. It's spiritual, and it is about healing. And we post all kind of stuff in there. And sometimes you know, the last few days I've kind of been neglectful towards it. I've got some beautiful moderators in there and admin in there. And I will tell you the name of it if you want to. If you want to join, you can. It's a pretty peaceful group. We don't tolerate BS there. You know what I mean? But if you want to join the group, it is called the Enchanted Forests, in plural, of Healing. Enchanted Forest, Forests of Healing. And and just answer the questions, and either me or one of my mods will approve you to get in. And I would love to see more activity in that group, because I think the whole reason I started that group, is because my passion became healing several years ago. And then it was about a year ago that I really stepped on the law of attraction thing. Yes, that's it, Bosme Moon. She's got it, and it is on whatever, Facebook. And I'm on Instagram too, as Enchanted Cottage 333. And I'm also on Facebook as Enchanted Cottage 333 But individually, my personal account is the one that created that group, the Enchanted Forest of Healing. And we try to post stuff that sometimes we drop truth bombs, sometimes it's encouragement, sometimes it's just general stuff, you know. And so anyway, if you guys want to join that group, I invite you to do that. I will just say that it's a sweet group of people, right? Oh, Gemma, what did you miss? I'm still here for a minute. I'm not going to stay long, but yeah, Enchanted Forest of Healing is the name of the group. The Enchanted Forest of Healing, for places to purchase authentic healing stones, crystals, etc. You know, Benita, I don't know, and I will tell you this: you have to be careful, because some of these people will paint rocks and call them, you know, rose quartz or whatever. You know, I'll tell you this. I am a firm believer that you can charge anything to do anything. Can I just say that? And I have every kind of crystal you can imagine. I've got rose quartz and tigers. I've got a beautiful bumblebee jasper that I love. Those are pretty rare. Oh, Nacho Mama, thank you. Yes, out in nature. Where was my brain? Of course, because it's got the Earth's energy. That's perfect. I got chills. Yes, out in nature. Go get you some rocks that speak to you. I know I got a lot. Yes, ma'am. Anya. Yes, Benita. Go out, go by the riverbank, and my friends who do that, I've done it, and they find the rocks that speak to them. Does that make sense? But yeah, I've got all kind of stones myself, and I like them. But you know what? I mean, and I'll charge them sometimes under the full moon. I didn't the other night because I was busy, zooming after the thing with Tyler and all that Aquarius full moon energy and the, running across the, who, right? All of that. I just was a little bit distracted, right? I didn't really do any full moon rituals. I will say I manifested, but I didn't do any rituals per se. But anyway, with that being said, that kind of is my take on things. Sold a magic donut on eBay for $500 once. Oh my word. Nacho Mama, do you think it was a ripoff or do you think they really charged it? I don't know. I kind of think, I mean, can I just say this? Permission to like speak freely, and not offend people? Yes, fraudulent plastic stains. But I'm just going to speak freely. When you step into your power, and this isn't just me, this is everybody. When you step into your power, you heal your stuff, you do your shadow work, you clean up that shadow, and you get it in a lot better shape, and you get to where you can manifest stuff, and you're a magical motherfucker. Okay, you can charge whatever you want to do whatever you want, right? Okay? Yeah, it was worth $500, right? What about a pendulum? I have a pendulum, but I really haven't ventured into using it too much. I have a buddy on Facebook who uses a pendulum, and she's real good. She's real good. Made moon water the other night. I've done that too. Water too. I've seen it. I don't really know a lot about it. But it's pretty cool, But I tell you, it's really funny. Some of these full moons I don't feel so much, but I don't know if it was the thing going on with Tyler that day or what. But I quit smoking cigarettes because I said so. You go, Nacho Mama. Hey, Divine. How are you? Divine Estrel's Visions. How are you, beautiful lady? Or man, I don't know. I don't know which you are. But okay, gorgeous person, right? But when you step into your power, okay, you can... I can go out and get that tree branch, if I'm in my power, and this is true for anyone, and charge it to do whatever I want, okay? Sadly, for malevolence too, but I'm not that person, okay? I ain't vibing. That ain't my vibration. That's, you know what? I'm gonna leave that to the ones that want to do that. Do I practice dark magic? Yes, I do. You can heal with dark magic. Have you ever heard of cursing cancer cells? Hello. Yes, you can. And yes, you can. And there are people who curse with light magic. And so this is oftentimes why I say it is in the heart of the practitioner. But it happened. That's funny. Huge shift with that last full moon. Divine, it's funny you'd mention that. I don't know if it was what was going on, because that was the day that I went live with Tyler and all craziness was going on in the most beautiful ways. But the energy was incredibly intense. And you would expect that with it having been in Aquarius when it, which is a good thing. I love Aquarius energy. But if it's humanly possible, then it's possible. I love that. Yeah, we're the only ones that set our limits. You decide. You decide, why do I attract players? Because you say you attract players. That's the short answer. Because you'll believe that's what you attract. I did too. I did. I sure did. I've been there, honey. I sure have been there, Aveth. I attracted players. And you know why I attracted players? Because it was my firm belief that was all I could attract was players. I can't tell you the last time I dealt with a player. It's a distant memory, buddy. I'm not on that vibration anymore, and I don't believe I attract him, so I don't. You have to raise your vibration and go inside and work on your shadow in order to vibrate in a place where you believe in your shadow, in your soul, in your subconscious, which you're unaware of, what your beliefs are there. You have to believe that you're worthy of better than players and that you have the ability to attract somebody who is not a player. Okay, does that help? What you put out, you get back. You right about that, Nacho Mama. What you put out, you get back. So I will work in the darkness, but but for the greater good. Like, you know, if I'm cursing an illness or whatever, you know, sometimes, I mean, you know, yes, you can do healing rituals with light magic. Of course you can. But sometimes I really want to get after something nasty. Okay. And, you know, just to really kind of, you know, hit it from all directions, if you will. Can I curse my desire? Can you curse my desire to smoke so I can be like Nacho Mama? You know, Froggy, I really believe that, you know, it's a mindset, you know, it really is. With any changes, it's uncomfortable. This is why most of the time you hear people say a leopard doesn't change their spots, because typically people don't change. And the reason that they don't change is because it is uncomfortable and it takes them out of their comfort zone. And that's why, but can people change? Yes. Statistically, the odds are that they won't. Okay, because it's uncomfortable and the masses just are fine to be stagnant, right? Strengthening your intuition, Benita. You do shadow work and you do daily meditation, and you don't necessarily have to meditate on any specific topic. It's really just about going inside and quieting your mind. And if you're struggling with meditation, I would recommend, there are a ton of meditation channels on YouTube. You can go to do guided meditation if you need some help, or I have one linked on my meditation playlist that puts me, at least, I love this one, that's why I linked it, right in the theta state, so you can really zoom into your subconscious, okay? And man, this double Gemini with ADHD, when I put that thing on, I am down for the count. Not asleep, but in you know, really in theta state, which is literally, by definition, one step above sleep, and that's when you're dealing with your subconscious, okay? So I hope that helped, Benita. I hope that helped with as far as strengthening your intuition. And the difference in when you raise your vibe and you heal, and healing is a part of raising your vibe, okay? When you heal and you raise your vibe, okay, and you change your beliefs about yourself and about the things around you and what you are manifesting, then, and you do couple that, and it takes time. Took me, you know, basically 4 years. Of course, I did hit a lot of minefields along there, so I hope I can speed that up for y'all by sharing. But at any rate, then you take all of that after a culmination of a lot of work, and you continue to do your daily meditation. Well, here's what happens. It goes from, energetically, it is the difference in having x-ray vision and a blindfold on, as far as reading energy of potential opportunities, career-wise, romantic opportunities, how people are behaving. Let me tell you something. I'll tell y'all a story, and I can do this because this person is now blocked from my channel. I had a person, let's see, how long ago does this go back? Probably about January. And he commented on my thing, and all he said was, and he had no picture, so and normally I need at least a picture to read somebody's energy. It had no picture, and I mean, I have male viewers. I never think anything of it, right? And they all say there was nothing about the words that he put any different from what any other male has said to me. And I have never, ever had this thought when a male commented on a video, but I did with him. I didn't see a picture. The words were fine. He was just like, I already love your readings. You are spot on. And that was it. Very innocent, right? Very innocent. No picture, no words. I picked up on that energy. Can I tell you he became a stalker? Sure did. Man, I knew he was bad news. I felt it in the words. And I can't, the only thing I know to attribute that to is that, I know, Bosnia, isn't that crazy? All I can attribute being able to pick up on that energy is because of having healed, having cleaned up that shadow, having dealt with a lot of stuff, and continuing to do so, and meditating. And over time, his comments got so stalkerish. They got worse and worse and worse. And I knew it was coming. I could see it, but I let him go down that path, okay? And he did. And he would say things, and I never gave him a reason to say this, okay? I was nice. I was gracious. I would like his comment or whatever, and he would say, and he would, all I would do would just be say thank you, right? That was it. And the next comment he made would be, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but thank you for the reading. Wait, what? I don't even know you. I don't know you. I don't like or dislike you. I don't have anything, but I've picked up on that energy, and I knew from day one. And then the next thing was, obviously you just don't want to hear from me, because I ignored that comment. And then he got blocked, because I knew it would come, and I knew it did. I've had a couple of others that I've had to block, but and I love it when males watch my channel. I mean, I'm 90% female. I can look at my analytics and tell y'all that, and it is what it is. I'm great either way. I'm just glad people watch and thankful for whoever watches. But, when males comment on my stuff, it don't freak me out. I'm like, great. They like it. Good deal. I'll thank them and, be gracious about them or whatever. But I'm telling you, yes, I get craziness in my inbox. And I did that even before my channel. What is it with, look, I am 57 years old. Why are these people hitting me up in my DMs? On Facebook and Messenger, right? But it was creepy, and I knew it was coming, and I read it, and there was nothing about that first comment to say anything out of the ordinary, and it just got creepier and creepier. And I let him go down that path. I knew where he was headed, and I was really hoping that he wouldn't, but I felt it and I could feel it. But you're right, age doesn't have a thing in the world to do with it. You're absolutely right. So why do you always get hurt? Do you believe you always get hurt? That's why. Long and short of it, it's your beliefs and your subconscious, baby. And I'm sorry, I have been there. I have been on the relationship hamster wheel of failed relationships. And it is not fun. It hurts like all get outs. But it has everything to do with not having gone inside and fixed your shadow self. And I've got a playlist that will help you if you feel like you're always getting hurt with people, okay? And it is called Shadow Work and Healing. And if you really are tired of being hurt, if you've had enough, and look, it took me a long time. I was over 50 before I started fixing me. But if you've had enough, hit my playlist called Shadow Work. On my channel, go to the top and scroll over to the right and you'll see it, okay? But do I sympathize? Enough that I made an entire playlist for me and other people about it, okay? So, yeah, I get it. And it's hard. And, it's hard because, and when I do readings about things that are rough, y'all, and I said this on a comment today, but when I get readings that are rough, it's very hard. And vibrationally, what I have to do is literally energetic gymnastics. When I get a bad reading, in order to read it properly, I have to bring myself to that vibration. And it's hard. And it hurts. But it is the only way that I know how to read it. And then afterwards, I literally have to leave from my table and go energetically clean myself back up, because I know that vibration and it hurts like hell, and I have to feel it in order to talk about it. Do I make sense? And I'm not trying to be, we're all on different paths, and I'm not saying I'm all that. Do I need to get better? Yes, you damn right I do. Do I need to ascend and learn and grow and raise my vibe? Absolutely. But I have to put myself back on a different timeline of my own reality to feel everything. And one day I'm going to tell my story. It probably would be too long for even one video, but one day I'm going to tell my story, and it would probably knock your socks off, but there's very little that you can think of as far as life experiences and things to do wrong that I have not done, okay, and have not reaped the consequences or experienced the consequences of poor choices. Perfectly imperfect. I love that, Nacho Mama. We're always perfectly imperfect. You're perfect just like you are, and you're perfect tomorrow when you're a little better, just like that too, right? And you were perfect yesterday before you raised your vibe to where you are today, right? So at any rate, hey, Awana, good to see you. I'm not going to be here too much longer because we're coming up over an hour, and this is always fun. I love these little soul chats, soul fam. But y'all, I hope you're encouraged. And, like I said earlier, I added that thing, that service, because it is more aligned with my goals as far as this channel goes, is to help people to manifest better. Negative energy. No, I've never had that happen, Froggy. I really haven't. But honestly, Froggy, I will say this. I'm shielded, so if it's directed at me, it's not going to hit me. And quite honestly, just to be completely frank with you, my guardians are some badass motherfuckers. Okay, so it's never going to hit me, and it's going to go right back where it came from. But secondly, I'm well equipped, and I hope everyone else here is too, because a phone is a portal, okay, and you have to understand that. But also, Froggy, if somebody comes up in here trolling, my mods, they be badass, and they're going to take care of it if I miss it. Okay, they're going to delete those people, and and if they need to go away from the channel completely, then yeah. Now I'm sitting here too, and I'm able to watch the chat. Now when I'm reading, I'm not able to watch the chat, but at any rate, I don't know how to at people either whenever I'm in chat with somebody else. And Smeekia, or I may say you're Smeekia or whatever, but I may say, but I don't know either. But anyway, there's some badass motherfuckers, and there's really not any deities that are more powerful than the ones that I work with. I mean, let's just be real here for a minute, okay? And so I'm not worried about it. I'm good. And a lot of times if it happens, they'll later tell me about it, that we did this and you're good and all that. But I'm pretty impenetrable, okay? And when I tell you I have seen the darkest of the dark as far as malevolence goes in the spiritual world, I have been in combat with a real necromancer and one, okay? And it was a huge learning experience for me. And I don't care to go down that path again. But suffice it to say, she's not able to hurt people anymore with her malevolent stuff. She was hurting a lot of people in the worst of ways, in the worst way possible that spans lifetimes. And we cut all that. Yep, we did. Show did. And I grew up a lot as a practitioner overnight with that one. I sure did. So I'm pretty impenetrable when it comes to, intense negative energy and that sort of thing. I'm not bothered by that. If they send it my way spiritually, I'm good. And I kind of feel like my folks that are here to learn, that are here with pure motives, because of my guardians, they're probably okay too. You know what I mean? And you're probably all protected by them when you're here because of them, because they know why you're here and they know why I'm here, and it's not for that. Yes, rubber and glue, you got that right. And yeah, it's there are some battles I just don't fight. I don't have to, those are losing battles. I leave that to the ones who can really take care of it in the best of ways and in the way that is best for that person. That's why I'm not one of these people that feels like I need to go out and shoot negativity towards somebody, because I don't know what's best for them. I don't. I really don't. So that's not fair. Hey, Jimmy N, how's it going? Buffalo, New York in the house. Alabama saying hello with the southern drawl and the sweet tea going on here, right? But don't worry, Froggy. Don't worry about it, because if they just shoot negative energy, we got it. And because I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna say this, and Nacho Moon, she's. I bet you, Nacho Mama, you're a sweet lady and a light worker. I would not, you know what I'm saying? I just would not trifle with you. And I don't think it would be you coming at me. I would think it would be the guardians you have. Okay, you're a light worker, but you're also highly spiritual. So, yes. So I think we're all good, Froggy, as far as that goes. And if somebody actually does type something stupid in, we just delete them and go on. And I don't pay much attention to them. More about them anyway. Yeah, and honestly, if people are vibrationally sending negative energy, they will attract negative energy. So we don't worry too much about it. Look at you, Nacho Mama, with she's incognito. She's incognito. She's incognito. I love it. Love it. But yeah, so yes, it is all about them. And, I mean, it is what it is. I do me, right? And I don't worry about them. And quite honestly, I really have a belief that no matter how powerful a practitioner might be, if you are vibing at a high vibrational level, right? You're just not on the same energetic vibration to, receive whatever might have been attempted to be sent to you, right? I mean, I really think that. I really do. So, but anyway, so my 2 cents about magic, right? Like attracts like, you got that right, all day long. All day long. Y'all, if I don't get my butt home and go do some personal readings, people are going to be up in arms, as they well should be, and I don't blame them one bit. I had laryngitis. Many of you know that. yes, you do have to protect yourself. But all day long, right, Bosmy Moon? But anyway, but I've got to go home and do some personal readings. I've got some that were booked yesterday that I got to do today, and I've got one that was booked day before yesterday. It was late in the day, but I really feel bad. But I had emailed that one, and she was super sweet. And I went live this afternoon, and then I was like, okay, I'll do her, and then I'll try to do some more that were booked yesterday. And I think I had one booked today, one or two, something like that. So I got caught up. I got caught up. But anyway, yes, let's all click. Love, love, love it. So, but anyway, all right, guys. Well, I probably need to get home and go do some readings. I'm gonna probably drink some ginger tea and rest my voice a little bit, and then do some personal readings. And if any of you need a leg up, hit me up in my description box below this video. And if you want to book a personal reading, it's there too. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and chatting it up with us tonight. It's been a beautiful, fun time. Thank you so much. Yes, and I do the salt water, warm salt water too, Bosnia. It does help. Yes, yes, yes. But anyway, ginger tea, lemon, honey, and warm salt water, and just shutting the heck up, right? And that's the hard part. That's the worst part, having to not talk. Anyway, many blessings, everyone. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm humbled and grateful and honored to be your tarot reader. Thanks so much.